And some would say he's not a backup. A restricted free agent after this season, Canucks goaltender Cory Schneider's value continues to rise. Given Roberto Luongo's uneven history in the playoffs, it would take a significant offer to pry Schneider loose from the Canucks before the season's trade deadline of February the 27th. Back at the Hockey Central studios with Nick Kypreos and Shannon. Nick, I'll tell you, if you're Mike Gillis, what do you do in this situation? You have two netminders you're comfortable going to war with. That's, of course, the playoffs. What do you do, though, with Cory Schneider, knowing that he can fetch a healthy sum?
Yeah, if you're Mike Gillis, you got to try to hit the home run. And, you know, even if you go back 2 years ago, you tried to hit the home run, even when he was in Manitoba. So the price has always been high, and it continues to be high. It's not if he gets traded or moved, it's when. We know he's on a short-term leash here because of the Luongo contract and the commitment to there. I still think that the deal that out there is to be made would be with the Tampa Bay Lightning. They want him real bad, but the question is, with Gillis, what do they have that could really give Vancouver a shot in the arm? If you ask me, the deal that should be out there right now is a first-round pick and Ryan Malone. That would be the type of deal that I think Gillis has no problem looking at. The question is, can you convince Malone that he should come to Vancouver? He's got a no-move clause, and I think that would go a long ways to making a deal of that magnitude. But
that might have to be a cap space issue, too, Nick. Let's face it, Malone's a big ticket at this point, even from February 27th to the end of the regular season. I just don't see it happening. I think that this is one of the great insurance policies that any club can have, is a quality second goalie. I don't even want to call him a backup goalie, a second goalie. 20 games this year he's played already, 11-5 overall. And the fact that we talked about it earlier, he has played big games against Chicago. He did play that big Saturday afternoon game against Boston. There's a message out here. They can take him to arbitration, I believe, for one more year and get him for another year. They're not in a big hurry unless you can get the perfect fit for the Vancouver Canucks, a top six forward that can make a difference for the playoff run this year, and I don't think that's out there.
He wants a first-round pick and a top six, and that's the type of deal that I mentioned with Tampa Bay that it would take for Gillis to move him.
The other thing is, don't forget, what's the market other than Tampa for a goaltender, and that would be not very much when you consider there's another backup goalie, second goalie in the league, Jonathan Bernier in Los Angeles, that could be in bigger demand.
Here's one other aspect that Gillis has to worry about, too, that he goes into this summer and he gets a restricted free agent offer, and that, guys, would fall in the category if he signs now, depending on where the average salary is, but a $4 million contract on average, if a team signs him, would cost a first and a third. First and a third, not nearly as good as what Gillis wants now.
This guy might provide more value for the Canucks, not on the 27th of February. Yep. He may provide more value on draft day, when there's somebody out there who knows on paper what they need in goal, and then they give him a 2-week window to negotiate a new contract with him.
And matching any offer for restricted would put the Vancouver Canucks committed close to $10 million in their goalies. They don't want to go down that path either.
That's where it's not just an offer sheet, but a predatory offer sheet that forces Mike Gillis to make a decision.